morning. Welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Monday, October 28, 2013. If you're listening to this on the radio and want to watch it, go to www.catex.com. There's a very significant storm that pounded Britain last night, starting on Sunday night and continuing into this morning. It's also struck the Netherlands and parts of France. The storm at some points had 99-mile-an-hour winds hitting the Isle of Wight, and the central part of the United Kingdom experienced winds of about 80 miles per hour. About 270,000 homes in the UK were without power at one point. The commute into London was a disastrous event. A number of people actually just decided to stay home. Numerous flights were canceled at Heathrow Airport. Parts of France were also affected, and as I mentioned, the Netherlands had several railway lines being shut down, and Dutch citizens were warned against riding their bicycles to work, which is a prudent thing in a 100-mile-an-hour wind gust. Sweden is expecting the storm to hit there tonight. It's not being classified as a hurricane because hurricanes typically form over warm waters, although this one bears all of the hallmarks of a storm such as a hurricane. Meanwhile, the broking powerhouse Aon reported numbers on Friday, and it said that profit rose by a better than expected 25% in the last quarter, ending on September 30th, mainly driven by a 5% increase in organic revenues at their reinsurance arm, which is Aon Benfield. They reported net income of $256 million for the third quarter, up from $204 million last year. Analysts pointed out that the improved numbers were also a result of one-offs, such as investment sales. So again, we'll see what happens in the next quarter. Munich Re, the world's biggest reinsurer, said that China will remain its biggest growth market in Asia, listen to this, as it considers countries such as India too unpredictable to step up investment in. India, of course, is the world's largest democracy, and if you read the paper today, you'd see there was electoral strife there. 5 or 6 people were actually killed in riots. However, Munich Re believes that China is a more stable bet. According to the management board member that was quoted here, our biggest customers in China are still growing their business by more than 15% a year, driven by car insurance. As the boom in car sales continue there, we want to expand our business in Asia, but want to do it on a profitable basis. Asia represents about 17% of Munich Re's reinsurance premiums for last year. China is by far has a share of more than 50% of that. Insurance premiums in the Asia-Pacific region are expected to reach over $1.3 trillion in additional premiums by 2020. That's in 7 years, with most of that coming from China. Speaking of China, a Jeep plowed into a crowd in Beijing's Tiananmen Square this morning. It crashed and burst into flames, killing 2 pedestrians and all 3 occupants of the Jeep. Police immediately flooded the square. They also clamped down on numerous, if not hundreds, of posts on social media. According to a website that tracks activity in China on the internet, deletions were enforced immediately by the government on any search queries such as Tiananmen car accident, Tiananmen explosion. There's a report that there was an explosion first before the Jeep crashed, so it's now being speculated that in fact it may have been a self-immolation, some sort of a protest kind of thing. About 38 other people were injured so far. Local subway stations in the area have been closed, and the police have completely cordoned the area off. There was a significant earthquake in Japan on Saturday, a 7.3. It was about 230 miles east of the Fukushima nuclear plant. It generated a 1-foot tsunami. There were no reports of any damage or injuries. Tokyo Electric Power Company says that everything is fine at the crippled nuclear plant. There was a big blizzard that swept through the Dakotas on October 4th. It didn't really receive much attention, but it really whacked the American cattle industry. South Dakota ranchers have lost possibly as many as 30,000 cattle. This could be a staggering loss. Each calf that was lost, if it was pregnant, each calf could be more than $1,000 in losses, and each pregnant cow worth as much as $2,000. The storm also impacted other states such as Nebraska, Wyoming, and North Dakota. However, the preponderance of the hit was in South Dakota. The new farm bill that is being discussed now on Capitol Hill could provide retroactive payments to ranchers, but you can be sure that the price of beef is going to be going up in about 4 months' time when this begins to hit the marketplace. Last night, the Boston Red Sox evened the World Series, and now it's 2-2 against the St. Louis Cardinals. That's the news for today. If you're watching this in the UK, you may be watching it from home. Have a good day, and we'll see you tomorrow.